From ancient magic and strange funeral rituals to festivals with tons of smashed fruit, each point in today's edition will shock you. You are with the TopFacts channel, and today we will show you the most bizarre and astonishing tribal traditions. In every community on Earth, there are special traditions related to death. Some choose a traditional burial, some go for cremation, and others prefer mummification. But the Toraja people of Indonesia truly stand out in their approach. After a loved one passes away, the body is carefully mummified and dressed in festive clothing. Here is the remarkable detail. The deceased, in this form, remains not in the ground, but near the family home for a long time. Months, and sometimes even years, can pass before the family decides to hold an official funeral. It is believed that in this way, the soul of the departed remains among relatives all that time and is never forgotten. Furthermore, each day, they are ceremonially invited to join the family meal. Of course, the deceased does not respond or eat, but for the relatives, it is a sacred ritual of honor. Eventually, the body is indeed buried. Yet even then, it does not rest in the earth forever. Family members regularly retrieve it to clean it and once again commune with the one who has passed away. To us, it may seem shocking or even eerie, but for the Toraja people, it is an important cultural element, expressing deep love and respect for ancestors. Some tribes have customs that can amaze even the most seasoned travelers. One of them is a biggest weight contest practiced by a certain Ethiopian tribe. Astonishingly, men compete to see who can gain the most kilograms over a period of 6 months. They are given huge amounts of cow's blood and milk, which they drink secretly, and at the end of the challenge, they appear in public. The winner is the one who has acquired the most impressive form, and the entire village praises him as a hero. This reputation remains for his whole life, and children in the tribe dream of growing up and repeating his feat. Now let us move on to a slightly more appetizing spectacle, for this celebration has long been one of Spain's most recognizable highlights. La Tomatina is the largest tomato battle in the world. Every year on one day in August, thousands of people gather in a Spanish town and begin throwing ripe tomatoes at each other. It is believed that this type of fun happened by accident for the first time. An impromptu fight broke out among a group of friends right during a town parade. Over time, the custom turned into a large-scale tradition. Today, not only local residents but also tourists from around the world participate in La Tomatina, traveling specifically to get caught in the tomato rain. The city authorities bring in a huge number of juicy tomatoes, and the fight itself lasts approximately 1 hour. Then, under lively music, the participants go on celebrating, dancing, and having fun, somehow managing to wash off all traces of the red pulp. Admittedly, the smell is rather distinctive, but the main thing is an ocean of positive emotions and an unforgettable experience. Another festival, based on a culinary theme, takes place in Bosnia and is called the Fried Egg Festival. But do not worry, they do not throw eggs around as the Spaniards do with tomatoes. Instead, people joyously celebrate the arrival of spring by cooking a special fried egg dish with a decades-old recipe. The main feature is that about 1,500 eggs are cracked, and the dish is served on the very first day of spring. The symbolism of the festival lies in the idea of renewal and rebirth, since spring is the time when nature awakens. Early in the morning, residents begin whisking the eggs, adding special seasonings. Despite the weather, which can sometimes be uncooperative, everyone gathers by the riverbank to cook the dish together. Then it is generously distributed to all present, and the celebration continues. There is music, meat is grilled over an open fire, and some brave souls even take a dip in the Bosna River. This cheerful and tasty ritual undoubtedly lifts the whole community's spirits. If the previous festivities seemed somewhat wild, This event might puzzle you even more. In one Thai city, thousands of monkeys live freely, and the locals not only refrain from chasing them away, but also organize an annual buffet for them. All kinds of fruit, vegetables, and other treats are laid out on huge tables. Approximately 100 tables are covered with food, the total mass sometimes reaching several thousand kilograms. Once everything is ready, the monkeys literally swarm the feast. The scene looks like utter chaos, screeching, jumping, pushing. Amusingly, over the years, the number of these furry guests has multiplied, and they know very well that lavish tables await them. While some may consider this festival unsanitary or dangerous, local people see in it an age-old tradition of respect for these animals and a chance to attract tourists. Let us move to Germany, where there is a very peculiar wedding eve ritual called Polterabend. Friends, relatives, and even neighbors come to the bride's house with numerous breakable items: plates, pots, porcelain vases. Some even bring toilets. All are noisily shattered right in the yard. It is believed that a multitude of shards brings good luck to the new family, since in German there is a saying that shards bring happiness. But after this commotion, the future spouses and all the guests clean up the fragments together. For the couple, this joint challenge is good practice in overcoming difficulties and a chance to have fun before their married life begins. Many have seen photos of women from certain Asian or African regions wearing large metal rings on their necks. Sometimes it looks as if their necks have been stretched like a giraffe's. Indeed, this tradition exists, and it is considered a sign of beauty and high status. Women, and sometimes men, wear special rings, gradually adding more and more to make the neck appear longer. In reality, the neck is not truly lengthened. Under the weight of the rings, the collarbones shift, and the upper rib cage becomes deformed. To an outsider, it may look extremely unusual or even dangerous, but to members of these communities, it is a familiar aesthetic and, above all, part of their cultural identity. Another striking custom involving body modification is found among some African tribes, such as the Mursi and Surma. There, girls and women insert clay or wooden plates into their lips, which grow larger over time. It is believed that the bigger the plate, the higher the social status and beauty of the woman. This ceremony begins during adolescence, when the lip is slightly stretched and the diameter of the plate increases step by step. Certain governmental agencies have tried to ban this practice, deeming it harmful, but to the tribes themselves, it holds deep cultural meaning. It symbolizes independence, female maturity, and can even indicate the bride wealth required if a woman marries into another tribe. If you love extreme competitions, take note of the English cheese rolling contest in Cooper's Hill. Basically, it boils down to a large round of cheese being rolled from the top of a steep slope, while participants dash down after it. Running down a steep incline is dangerous in itself. Falls, collisions, and bruises are common. People run at top speed, trying to catch the rolling cheese. In the past, the race often ended in injuries, so the authorities attempted several times to ban it. But the event had already become iconic, so it continues to this day. And while the main prize is merely the trophy cheese wheel, the rush of adrenaline and fun experienced by participants and spectators alike makes up for all possible risks. Mexican birthday traditions can surprise those used to calm family gatherings. One of the most entertaining details is la mordida. The birthday person's hands are tied, and their face is literally shoved into the cake, while everyone around cheerfully chants, "La mordida, la mordida." The word mordida can have different meanings, including bribe, which only adds to the humor of the situation. Another fun part of the celebration is the piñata, a bright papier-mâché figure shaped like an animal or something fanciful is hung on a rope. The birthday person's eyes are covered, they are given a stick, and they attempt to smash the piñata. The candies and sweets bursting out become a great treat for all guests, and the event itself turns into a mini carnival of laughter and excitement. In the Italian city of Ivrea, there is a vibrant tradition reminiscent of the Spanish Tomatina, but here, instead of tomatoes, oranges are used. The event commemorates a historical uprising. Long ago, the townspeople rebelled against a local ruler, and now this battle symbolizes their victory. Participants divide into 9 teams. Some are in carts, others on foot, and they all try to hit each other with oranges, reenacting the past revolt. Despite the apparent chaos, there are fairly strict rules. For the town, it is a significant event. After the battles, the streets are strewn with orange pulp, yet residents feel they are paying tribute to history and strengthening ties within the community. Deep in the African continent, on the territory of Chad, there is the Gerevol festival, a kind of male beauty contest. Among many peoples, we are used to seeing competitions of strength and endurance, but here, it is the opposite. Men put on bright makeup, dress in eye-catching costumes, and try to appear as attractive as possible to women. Often, the main goal is to find a wife or at least establish ties with members of another clan. A man's smile, grace, and bearing are all judged by the women. The festival can last several days, and if a man is fortunate in this unusual rivalry, he can gain not only a partner, but also the respect of the entire tribe. In the Mexican state of Oaxaca, there has long been a curious custom involving carving vegetables, specifically radishes. Many years ago, street vendors during Christmas began carving various figures out of radishes to attract buyers. Shoppers loved this, and the tradition grew into a large-scale event. Nowadays, during the festival, you can see entire sculptural compositions, from biblical scenes and local myths to funny episodes of modern life. The whimsically carved radishes decorate the displays, and visitors are amazed by the creator's skill. The radish itself may not be as tasty as a tomato, but the spectacle is unforgettable. One of the most famous and controversial traditions in China's history is foot binding for girls. Legend has it that it all started because an empress admired small, delicate shoes that made the foot look like a crescent moon. Over time, such footwear became a symbol of female beauty and high status. The process, however, was extremely painful and often caused severe deformation of the bones. Tiny lotus feet became a source of pride, but effectively doomed their owners to suffering. Even so, this custom persisted in Chinese culture for centuries, reflecting the era's ideals of femininity. In Africa, among the Himba people who live in arid regions, there is an interesting hair care practice. Each day, they apply a special paste made of red ochre and fat to their hair. This gives their hairstyles a unique color and texture. Some researchers believe it provides protection from the scorching sun and insects, while others consider it purely aesthetic, an integral part of their identity. Himba women say they simply like how it looks, and the striking red hue of their hair has long become a cultural symbol and a curiosity for tourists. When people first hear rings on toes, they might think of modern fashion, yet in some cultures, it is an age-old custom tied to marital status. For instance, in India, there is a tradition where the groom places rings not only on the bride's fingers, but also on her toes during the wedding ceremony. Sometimes, this is done on both feet, symbolizing fidelity, prosperity, and a long married life. There is also a legend of a young woman who left her toe ring in a specific spot so her beloved could find her. In a world where footwear often consists of open sandals, such traditions appear quite natural and romantic. In Denmark, there is an amusing custom. If you turn 25 years old and are still unmarried, be prepared for friends to shower you from head to toe with cinnamon. It is considered a playful hint that perhaps it is time to think about finding a partner. The funniest part, if by the time you turn 30 you still have not found your true love, the fragrant cinnamon is replaced by a more pungent pepper. The custom dates back to old times, when traveling salesmen who never married were nicknamed pepper people. Now it is more of a humorous ritual, sometimes turning into a hilarious spectacle for groups of friends. In one Amazonian tribe, there is a ceremony involving an extremely painful ordeal. A young man who wishes to become recognized as an adult must plunge his hands into special gloves filled with bullet ants. The name of these ants speaks for itself. Their sting is compared to the sensation of an actual gunshot. The young man must keep his hands in the gloves for about 10 minutes, all while performing a particular dance to ensure the ants will sting him. Anyone who can endure this excruciating pain is deemed a true warrior. The tribe believes that there is no real adulthood or resilience without pain. It is frightening to imagine what people undergo for a tradition passed down through generations. This tradition may seem ridiculous, but it really exists and has even gained popularity outside its Finnish origins, where it all began. Couples compete in a race with obstacles, in which the man carries his wife, or a willing partner, on his shoulders. The aim is to finish the course, which includes water-filled ditches, hurdles, and other challenges, as quickly as possible. Legend links the custom to an old-time bandit who stole women from nearby villages. Over time, this raid turned into a festive contest. Now it is a whole show, complete with rules such as the woman must be an adult and meet a certain weight requirement. The winners receive prizes, not to mention attention and a boost of positive energy. Swedish midsummer celebrations are always cheerful, but there is one element that stands out. People gather around a maypole and perform the frog dance. What is it about? As they dance, they sing a playful song about frogs, acting as though they lack body parts that humans have, but frogs do not, like ears. It looks very funny. Adults and children hopping, twirling, and waving their arms to the music, mimicking frogs. For Swedes, it is an essential part of their cultural heritage and simply a way to have fun during the brightest time of the year. In one Italian city, there is a tradition rooted in an old legend. Once, a local ruler decided that the suitor for his daughter's hand would be chosen through a chess match. The winner would marry the older daughter, and the loser would marry the younger. Today, this story is reenacted as a grand performance on a huge chessboard, with each piece represented by a real person, and sometimes real horses stand in for knights. Hundreds of actors take part in this living chess game, and it is preceded by colorful costume parades and a citywide festival. It is not just a tribute to history, but also a spectacular show that draws tourists and delights local residents. What unusual or strange customs do you know? Share your opinion in the comments, and do not forget to subscribe to the TopFacts channel, the laboratory of incredible compilations of facts and videos from across the internet. Thank you for watching, and right now, go ahead and watch the next video that has appeared on your screen.